Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, so let me show you what we're using today. I was going to stamp these out, but I think it's going to take so long that I'm just going to bypass it. So you can't even see that, never mind. Let me get these. Okay, so I'm using this set here. It's called Take Flight, and it's just really, really large. So we've got like a steampunk wing, a butterfly wing, some little wings, the lady, just different things. And then we've got these, but I don't think I actually stamped anything out from that one, so I guess we're just using that one. Alright, so I'm going to move this down here. So I stamped out a steampunk wing, and I kind of ran that through an embossing folder, so I might do that. Then I've just got her with one wing to the side. I was trying to fit both wings on, but I don't think it's going to happen. And then I have some little wings here, this size wing. So I thought I might add her on here with all the wings. But again, not sure. And then you could just do something with her by herself and some kind of whatever. So I think we're not going to fool with this one right now. But we're going to try this one first. I'm working on this old Tim Holtz mixed media mat thing. Where's that box? I don't know where it's at. Well, you guys all had one back in the day, right? So it might roll up on me a little. I don't even know if I've got on the right side. It's the right side anymore. Okay. So I'm using watercolor cardstock. This is it the smooth side? Yeah, okay, this is the smooth side. I've embossed, like dry embossed these, and then used a folder for those. I did get that clear embossing folder, so not in folder, a powder. When I went to Michael's the other day, so I wish I had a Michael's closer to me. Not that they're that great anymore, but I should have mixed all these up before we started here. I don't know about these. It's getting ready to pour the rain. Pour the rain. And the poor neighbor dude. Well, actually the guy they've hired. I'm just happy they're doing the grass again. He's over there mowing. And I think it's already raining, but I don't know. I'm not sure about this. So let me just tear a piece off of here. I'm going to just kind of rub that in because I want to see. I'm afraid if we don't. And the good thing about this mat is you can just do this. And it like wipes it right up. I forget to use it after all these years. But okay. So let's see. I liked that. Is that the sort of greenish? Let's use this salvage patina. We're using some Distress Oxide sprays today. And kind of liking that. Even though I'm kind of wasting it because I'm kind of half drying it up, but whatever, we're starting with that. Okay. So we've got this. I don't think I'm really going to be able to stamp much on this like I had planned. Alright, so what color? I want to just kind of color her in a little bit. After getting some of these new markers, I've kind of moved everything away. I've scooted them down to kind of make room, and now I'm not sure if that is going to really work. But we should be able to color her really, really fast because I heat embossed it, so we've got that little ridge thing, you know, how it just colors so much better with that. Maybe I should give her some toenail polish. Get her spring toes out. I cannot wait. I want to get, I usually just honestly do my own toes, but I want to get a pedicure this year, and get my toes out there and get some nice sandals. All that stuff. Tonight I'm trying not to cry or focus on going back to work because it's my last night of freedom, the last night of spring break. Okay. So, I don't know what color to do the wing though. What color was that? Let's try a little bit of that and some wild honey. This would probably be better if I shook it up. Oh gosh, I will not get on my phone screen. Okay, this could work. This could work. Alright, let me just get the heat tool thingy, my bob out. Cords are in my way because I've got my phone. It's almost dead and it's plugged up. Alright, not totally dry, but close enough. I think I'm supposed to be on the other side of this. Oh well. Whatevs, right? Guess people don't really say that anymore, do they? Hello, 80s. Alright. A lot of times I forget. This looks really powdery. I forget to use my... okay, I want something right there. Something with a little... a little much. Ooh, a little much. Okay, so now I've just made mud. That's not good. Well, shoot. Not what I wanted to do. Alright, let me dry this. Okay, I'm gonna give it just a little bit of this over top of it. See if that will bring it back to life a little bit. I don't know. Now I feel like it's just overpowering the all the embossed areas, you know what I mean? It kind of is, isn't it? Okay, I'll tell you what. What are we gonna do? I don't know what we're gonna do yet. We're just gonna think about it. I feel like I need a little of that orange or rust or something on there though. Maybe it was this one. Nope, that's more like a yellow. Okay, I'm just going to leave it alone for right now and keep going. Alright, so we have a gold and a copper. And some other gold, a red, and a green, which may or may not be dried up. So I'm going to move these to the side for a minute. I need something that's going to hold that sucker down. Okay. I'm going to start off with copper. Yep. Oh, so dry. Oh, so dry. Okay. I've not used these in so long. And I think you're supposed to put some sort of something over here. Like, okay, so this one should work because this one hasn't even been opened. So, let me find something to open it with. If something flies by and I scream, it's okay. There is like a little moth or miller, or I don't know what you call them, in my house. I have all the lights off except for my craft room, and so you know how things are like attracted to a bright light. So I've got the filming light thing going, and okay, yeah, that's not really showing up. And as it gets warmer, the flying things start to appear, which is partly why I don't want it to get warm. It's about the only reason I don't want it, but I'm sure there's something I was supposed to put this on with, but I don't remember what. So I'm just using my finger. I do like this though. This is nice. But anyway, so I always watch videos while I stamp. If I'm not doing a video myself, like if I'm just stamping for me, then I'll just catch up on, you know, my things that I'm subscribed to or whatever. And so I was watching, I love Halloween and things, so I was watching some Halloween videos. And then I thought, well, let me go to my butterfly list, since these are kind of butterflies, and maybe find some inspiration or something. Get me in like a butterfly feeling kind of mood. And, uh-oh, same thing. You know what, though? I know this is horrible, but, I mean, if it's messed up anyway, it's messed up, right? So I'm just going to dig into that a little bit. Sometimes you can, I don't know, move another layer or something. Anyway, so I was sitting here minding my own business, crafting away, and so with my butterfly video turned into, I guess, a playlist, went over to like a moth video. And so it was talking about, and then it went to like bats. And anyway, it was just finished up talking about them like flying and something about, I don't know, something about bats. And all of a sudden this thing flies right through here. It's little, but oh my gosh, I squealed like you just don't even know. And so anyway, I'm sure the neighbors probably heard, half the neighborhood maybe. But anyway, and then I was like chasing it through the house, trying to whack it with a piece of paper, piece of watercolor cardstock actually, and which is because that's what I'm using. And then it just like disappeared. So you know that thing will be like hiding somewhere for right now. I mean, it's still here somewhere, and so. And it will like reappear at bedtime or something, and will like somehow, because sometimes I'll fall asleep like to my phone or whatever, and still watching videos at times. Alright, I think that's good. And it'll probably fly by at night and freak me out right as I'm falling asleep or something. But I don't know why do they just like go away for hours, and then I don't know. That's the one thing about this winter crafting that I definitely have not missed, is there are no like gnats or whatever. Plus the dogs hold the doors open all the time, and something will fly in. Right now there's like giant, like big, I call them Herbert and his gang. They're back. They're like the bees that drill in your wood or something. Okay. So, could I stamp something on her wing? Because I don't think I'm really going to be able to, like, stamp over here, now that I think about it. Because I embossed it. Crap. Guess I'll have to. Alright, so what we've got is, but you know what? What if I did another layer of like this? This is dark, I think. This hasn't even been opened yet. Oh, there's a craft line. Okay. Well, that's just going to make more mud, but I might as well just go ahead and open that while I'm at it. I don't really have another dark color that would work well with that. Yeah. Alright, scratch that. But I could, let's just see how it would look if I just used a little of this. It might like smear everywhere too, but maybe a little here and there. It's not so bad. Oops, I moved it. Yeah, well, it'll be fine. Okay, I don't really know about this, but now you can't stop because, you know what I mean? Like, if you stop, it's worse. Maybe a couple of those. I don't know. I want like some layers of something, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's do, I know this is, I should probably do this with like distress, whatever, but I'm just going to go around the wing a little bit. Maybe this should just be a one card video, I don't know. This is taking a while, I'm sorry y'all. Haven't really, all I did was emboss them and cut them out. Haven't actually played with them yet, because that took a while. They're quite big, so you can only emboss like one per half sheet. So that was annoying. And then cutting out all these little nooks and crannies is not fun. Fussy cutting is not for me. I don't know. Hopefully, we just keep messing around. Sometimes it'll turn into something, you know, okay. You know how that goes. Y'all hear the weed eater? I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. Like I said, I'm just happy that they're cutting the grass. Okay, so I don't want that one. That one's too long. Because this I did not emboss, so I think that'll be, as long as it's dry. Let me hit it one more time. And actually, you know what? The whole point of like distress is water, right? Which I did not even do. So let's go ahead and spray a little bit of, just a little bit of water drops here and there. Okay. Do one more on the back. I mean on the other sheet. And that'll give us a little something, maybe. Maybe not. But it might. If I let it dry, I'd probably do better, but who's got time for that? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this now. Oh gosh, I forgot about these being on there. But yeah, I'm not ready for spring break to be over. Like, no way, no how. Trust me. I don't know where the time went. The only thing that I feel accomplished about is that I've now made a mess, cleaning out lots of stuff, and it's not finished, but it is started. So, whatever that means. Okay, so I'm just going to remove that, keep that there, and I think this will dry okay. I accomplished eating a lot, if that counts. That's something I should not be doing, but... Oh, shoot. Oh, my gosh. Now I've got to start it for... Okay. We went to Red Lobster. That was yummy. I ate 10,000 cheese biscuits, garlic cheese biscuits. Felt like the lady, I did like the waitress. She, as soon as we sat down, like, she came with those in her hand. Because sometimes they'll get your drink order first already. And I'm like, ooh, girl, I love you already. Yes, I do. So that was nice. She was very good on... I feel like if you bring me lots of biscuits, I will up your tip, girlfriend. Yes, I will. Or in this case, have my boyfriend up your tip, but whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go around this now with just a little bit of black, and I think we'll be done with that one. We went to a really good pizza place, and where else did we go? Forgetting some of them, I don't know. But we did a lot of eating. I did not get Chinese, unfortunately. That's my only downfall, I feel like, in life. Well, not my only downfall, but whoever gets this, sorry about that. Totally forgot about that. Maybe I should cut it off and, like, put it on something else. Clean that up 1 second here. That's a nice thing. It ripes up really, really well with some water. Okay, so let's see if that did anything. Yeah, that made it a little darker and whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these up, I think, because I don't know why, but we are. Everything I need is in the holder. Here, do it here down. But yeah, I definitely feel like I did not accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish, like cleaning wise anyway. But I got a little bit of crafting done. I did get some birthday cards finished that I needed right away. I didn't get to film those, sorry about that, but I was already running behind, so as usual. Not super on time with birthdays, it seems. I'll get them there, but it'll probably be late. Okay, so we'll just pop that one. This one is going to have a long piece. But yeah, overall it's been a pretty good break. The dogs are still here, which makes me happy. Which bums my father out, of course, but I don't know what to do. I cannot seem to get them a place. I actually am trying now. Like, I really am. But I don't know what to do about it. Nobody's taking the one rescue that I'd sort of planned on in the back of my mind that I thought really would when I was ready. It wasn't my first choice, but it was one, you know. I just thought they would. Like, they seem to, theirs are moving when nobody else's are moving. And so, yeah. But now they're posting things like, you know, I don't know, that first of all, they need food and things like that, and they can't seem to get them placed this time, and they don't know what's happening and whatever. So it's sounding just like the others now, and it's, I don't have any other options. Like, I don't know what else to do. Would anybody like a nice doggy out there? If you're a good person, I can deliver them to you. Come across the world to make sure they have a home. Maybe not across the world. Maybe the U.S. I don't know. That would be, that would be a trip. My little dinky car and those dogs. Whenever I had two in there at the same time, that would not be fun. But possibly doable, I don't know. Anyway, but I've got to do something. Let me tell you a funny story about the grocery store. Well, not really funny, really it's sad, I guess, but, okay. Oh, okay. Alright, so I'm going to have to use a bigger envelope, but that's okay, because it's going to stick out here and there, and look, right there, it's showing a little bit of, showing a little bit of white stuff that I don't want. Okay, I took care of that. Anyway, so it says change is never easy. You fight to hold on and you fight to let go. So I kind of feel like this is very fitting for her because, you know, while she looks, I mean, mystical and magical and whatever, she also looks, she could be sad and she could be going through some things like a change, which even when sometimes they're happy, they're sad, you know. So, all right. I guess we could do a little swoosh swoosh to the inside since that's already flown over, or I might cut this off and just do another one. But sometimes I like to see people's, like, craziness on the back. I don't know. Is that just me? Okay, let's do one more since I gotta tell you my crazy story. Alright, I'm gonna do the one with this. So for this one, I am going to, I want to use some blues and some purples. So let me just pop all these. Do I not? My lids never go back on right. I don't know what the deal is. Alright, so that's a blue. That's a blue. That's a blue. Where's that other blue? I think, yeah, that's the blue I'm looking for. Don't know about that one. Okay, so I want to color her wings here with my new cheapo sand marker. Oop, yeah, maybe not that color. A little something a little brighter. What's that called? Navy blue. So let's go with maybe a nice lapis. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see if this purple will work. Yeah, I think it works together fine. Anyway, so I saw this guy at the grocery store, and I always stand in front of my cart, right, to check out, just because it puts a little space between me and the person behind me. I got used to it, you know, when COVID was hot and heavy, and, Y'all know I still worry about that, so I just still kind of stick with that. And is that dry? Tell me that's not dry. Oh, you don't think the alcohol is melting the... Oh, no. Ooh, I don't know about that. Not sure about this. Well, I'm going to do this wing the same anyway and try. That seems to be fine. Like I said, I don't know if... I'll try to hurry because I don't know if that is like the weird alcohol stuff is doing something to my embossed portion of the ink. Anyway, so he's standing behind me or whatever, and he's, maybe it's not, maybe it's just rubbing over it wrong, I don't know. But anyway, so he's, he's kind of wigging out, and he was walking around the store, or, you know, you kind of can't miss him, because he's kind of wigging out on meth, I think. And the reason I say meth is just because the other guy that he was walking around the store with had blown up a house, basically, with cooking meth, right? So he was kind of on the news, local papers, that kind of thing. So you just figure, hey, if he's hanging with him, must be meth. But I mean, I guess it could be anything. But anyway, what is the baby barking at? So that barking on cue, actually, for this story. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to do this background in some blues and some purples. So he had this nice, huge tattoo on his arm, and he had like a sleeveless shirt on or whatever, and it said Death Angel. And, but anyway, so he was like talking to himself and talking to the wall and talking to whatever as we were checking out. He was talking to the candy bars, like, you know, just stuff. I'm still like, I don't care, I'm on spring break, doesn't bother me. Like, whatever, people. Nothing's coming between me and my break, okay? And, let me get another purple here. Got this Wilted Violet. Villainous Potion, that could be pretty. I'm sorry, y'all, I really should have shook all these up. But anyway, so he was like rattling on and talking and whatever, and I don't know where his friend went. He must have, like, whatever, he already went outside, I guess. And, so he had, like, a couple of things, you know, and he had, like, a wad of cash in his hand, so he had money. But, okay. So I'm just going to give this a little spritz. Let's try this Villainous Potion. And, so everything was cool until he starts, talking to this imaginary dog. And then my interest is piqued, right? Because y'all know how I feel about dogs. And so that's pretty. It's kind of like a pinky something. But I can't breathe. I'm going to just a little more hint of blue there, too. Alright. I'm going to dry this, I think. Let me turn on the heat thing, and I'll be right back. Just spray a little water here. Okay, and a little more of this one. Oh, he does not like the grass cutter. I'm going to get some more paper towels here. Just kind of blot that a little bit because, as y'all know, I can't hardly handle waiting on things to dry, which is partly why my stuff turns out like mud at times, but anyway, I think it'll be okay. I think it's a little bit dark for what I'd planned, but I do know, whatever. So we'll have her there. So maybe we'll do some lighter shades here. Hang on y'all, let me look at him just real quick. I'll be right back. Oh. Okay, he's good. He's just standing there barking. The dude isn't paying any attention to him. He's over in the other yard, so okay. So let's do a little of this one, just a hint around just the edges. That's gonna be all. And then a little of that. Okay, I'm liking that. So I'm kind of going to leave this to dry a little bit over here by itself. So I have to turn that thing back on again. Another paper towel. Okay, so let's just wipe a little of that up. Get a little of that out of our way. If I wasn't on camera, I would be like dipping all this in another tag so you don't waste it, but you know, whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a few water, I'm trying to do it real slow so I get like larger drops if you do it that way. There we go. Here goes another car. He is alerting everybody. Did you guys know there's another car? Okay, so back to Death Angel. Just press that down. So that's what it's kind of supposed to do, is give you a little bit of a layered look there, right? Okay. So anyway, so he starts talking to this imaginary dog. And I'm going to do her in the same color, I do believe. But I'm putting stuff up there, you know, to pay or whatever. And the last thing in my cart is two, like, those square dog chew things. And so he picks one up and he looks at it. And I'm like, okay, you know, give him a second, whatever. And so then he's like, need this for my dog, need this for my dog. I'm like, well, the imaginary one or the real one? And do you have a real one? Like, I don't know. And so he's like, I'll give it to the dog, I'll give it to the dog. And so he's like, but he's looking at the dog, he's not looking at me, right? And so normally I'd be like, nah, you know, but I'm not, whatever. But this time I thought, what if he actually has a dog at the house, and like this made him think about feeding it or something. So I decided, I was like, I'll get those for you. So checked them out, I handed it to him. I'm like, take these to your dog. And he's like, dog, and pointing or whatever. And I was like, I mean, what else are you gonna say? I'm like, good boy, good boy. So I'm talking to the imaginary dog too, and then I decided, you know, okay, it's time, I have to head to the car now. But so yeah, he seemed happy with that, and like I said, I mean, he had money and he was cool with food, and you know, it's not like he's starving, I guess, but he wasn't like asking me for money or anything, or else I'd probably just said no. But Actually, I might not have. It depends on. Sometimes if they have a dog, then I will do whatever. But he doesn't. He didn't actually have a real dog because I sat there and watched to see if he had a dog outside or anything. But he didn't. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Pretty, pretty. All right, I'm gonna spray. No, not. I'm gonna. Where's my alcohol? I mean, my Wink Stella. I'm going to Wink Stella these wings a little bit. I hope this is still filming. Holy cow. I mean, after all, fairy stuff should be a little glittery. I cannot see any glitter on this bad boy. Maybe it's almost empty. Probably would have picked a flippin' empty one, I swear. Alright, let me try something else. Well, ooh, you know what? Hey, I've got this one in green. I wonder what that would do. Anyway, so hopefully if the man does have a doggy, the doggy got a treat. If he doesn't, I don't know, maybe he'll eat it, who knows. Might be a little hard, like, well, he didn't have teeth anyway, so I started saying it might be a little hard on his teeth, but I don't guess that's gonna matter. So anyway, but you gotta help dogs just in case. But anyway, so I met Death Angel and survived. Okay, so on the back now, that's looking pretty good. This is not a steampunk thing, right? So we're good there. I just need a little bit of like texture or whatever. So the kit or the set comes with, let me find it. Comes with some of these things. That's pretty cool. And that really long one could be awesome. Okay. So let's measure up where she's kind of going to be. Okay. I don't really need that big number, maybe just that. I don't know that I have a block that's quite that long, but all I need is this bottom portion, so it'll be fine. I think I'll just do that with a black. Anyway, do you guys ever meet anybody interesting at the grocery store? I must just be one of those people because I'd already spent part of my grocery thing. This one guy who also, he basically looks homeless. He's not homeless, but nobody wants to deal with him because he smells really bad and all that. But nice guy. But I bonded with him over another dog. That dog would mind him like perfect. It would always blow my mind. And he would tell it to like wait at the door and that kind of thing at the grocery store, and it was such an awesome dog. And so I'd always have to stop and pet his dog, and now I feel like we're friends. So he was asking me to help him find some pork and beans that he wanted to make some kind of chili, and he doesn't read. So he wasn't sure which ones they were. So I was doing that, and then I passed the other guy who kind of cuts grass across the road here sometimes, and he was like, he can't, hang on, let me get something here. You know what, I'm gonna get this one instead. He can't read as well either, so he was asking me about some like steak and gravy, beef and gravy type stuff, and so I helped him. I'm like, great day. It's hard to go to the store and then I see, like a couple of my kids or whatever in their families, and stop and talk to them, and it's just, sometimes honestly it's easier to go to somewhere else to shop, because like one one trip in there can take like an hour and you're just buying bread or something. So sometimes it can be a little long. Okay, now I want something sort of round. Hang on. Round. Okay. So I have these. And I could emboss some white on there. That could be kind of pretty. Or I could just let it dry and see how it looks. Let's do that one. And what color should we do it? I think we will try a little white. See how it goes. If I can find some. In just a second, y'all. Apparently, this is new. I have some other white somewhere, but yeah, whatever. Since I've got my clear, could be a little old. Since I've got my clear embossing powder over there, this could work. Oh, it looks like little fairy bubbles. I like that. Ooh, I should do that again. Okay, y'all, I apologize if this video is like super long, but how can we not take time for some more fairy bubbles? And I don't think I'm going to be able to emboss them. I'm just going to have to let them dry naturally because the other stuff was embossed, done with embossing ink as well. And it might, so it just gives it a little bit of texture. I don't know if you can really see the texture or not, but it's kind of there. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop up our stuff and we'll basically be done. I honestly thought by now I would have a lot of cards done tonight. You know how you make all these big plans. I actually thought I'd be stamping a lot more than I did on spring break, but I always think that, so that's not a real big deal, but I really did think I was going to get quite a few finished tonight. But these are taking so long, I'm not sure. Because it's time to go fix the doggies their Sunday supper. I think I'm going to add some eggs to their food tonight. I haven't fixed them in any eggs in a little bit. They were eating some fruit with me earlier. They like apples, strawberries. Don't ever give your dog grapes, though. That can be super toxic. Okay, so that is good. Let's tape her up. I did not realize cleaning out my closet how many jeans that I had. I feel like I must have a very obsessive personality. I really do. Whether it's stamping or something, whatever theme I like or whatever. If I get on a jeans buying kick, like I'll, won't get one pair, I'll get like 6 pair or something crazy. But I have a ridiculous. Now some of them don't fit, so that's not terrible. I mean, that's a good. No, it's not a good thing because it means I've gained weight. But where's my other wing? Oh. One wing. Okay, there it is. But I'm going to work on that. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to do like a yard sale or something. I have a couple of ladies that like to just definitely buy all my clothes, so I don't really have to just straight up do a old-fashioned yard sale exactly. But I need to get that done, and I'm kind of boxing up some things because I'm hoping I will go down another size, at least maybe 2 sizes. So I only tend to keep 2 sizes down now. So that's, you know, that's as much as I think I'll probably end up losing. Shipmate's got me all excited now to join Weight Watchers. He went back on Weight Watchers, if you guys read his last comment. So I'm going to do that as soon as I actually thought about doing it right now, but I'm kind of broke because but I'm proud of myself technically because I paid off 2 credit cards this time, a big one and a small one, and so I'm super excited with that. But that's kind of where I tied most of my money up. And of course, you know me, I did one little, well, kind of 2, a little stamp order and a half a stamp order, we'll say. So y'all be seeing those whenever they arrive. But nothing too major. But you know, it did tie up a little funding there. So, and you got a grocery shop and all that junk. But anyway, I kind of want to like mentally prepare for it, and have some more things on hand as well. So. But the good thing about it this time is you can, the fruit and things like that, I think beans, fruit, let's see what else. Well, there's like a bazillion things, but my top few would be beans and fruit and veggies, and I think corn is even on there now, and something else. Okay, so probably needed to. She's a little off because this wing is high and because it's double whatever that one, but that's okay. I think it'll still hold, hopefully. But I love that. I like that. But I do see a little bit of an edge here. You know how when you cut, this would have been easier to do had I done this before I put it down, but we don't like to do things easy. That would make way too much sense, right? So let's just trace around her hair like a perfect cutter. I used to actually have somewhere some black puffy tape, but I don't know where that went. I don't know if I've done it all now or not. Close enough. And you could go around, you could just go around it all. We should. But yeah, I think to go on any new diet thing, you got to be mentally prepared. So I got to have a hot minute to get ready. Okay, so now for our last little bit of thing, I'm going to use this that says Feel the Magic. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but once that dries, I think that's what I'll do, but I will do it in maybe gold. Yeah, I might just do that now. Get this thing out. Because I do think I actually have gold over here. Or do y'all think silver? I don't know. Not sure. Okay, I feel like everything is crowding in on me. Let me slide some of this stuff back a little bit. I don't want it to like smother you here. Smother crafting. Okay. Alright, so we can stamp in, I guess, the black. It looks a little crooked. Oh, pretty, pretty. Okay, let me find the embossing powder. Powder, I mean. Okay, I'm gonna go with silver. Ooh, ooh. Don't spill it all. I'm just gonna go ahead and get, even though I've got that, you can emboss on it just fine. Just gonna do it right there so it just kind of falls right back off. Now see where I said it was gonna stick to that, because that is, so we, oops, hard as a rock. Who knows what I've done with that thing. Okay. So we don't want it to emboss the stuff over here. Just right there. Alright. Oh, let me put this back in here or else it will go south quick. Okay. Now our last official step. Alright, turn the heat thing on. Let me go stop him from barking and feel the magic, everybody. I think it looked out pretty good. All right, I'm not too torn up about these cards. So these were our creations, and I think I really like this set. I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this one. You can add big wings, small wings. You can do a lot with this, I believe. So, alright, let me know if you have this set as well, or if you plan on getting it, or you want to play along with me and do some of these. Let me know your ideas. So, alright guys, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble. Bye guys.